plant build, project build first. Then we finished the network configuration, and we also finished the hardware configuration, and then point configuration, and the last one, the application editor. And at last, before you downloading, you need to execute this application compiler. And this one is to check if there is some errors in your application. If you do this, and maybe it will give you some information right in red color, and the red color means the error, and you need to correct all the errors and do the application compiler again until no red line, no red words, and that means your application may be right. I said maybe right, not must right, because some of the errors, some errors of application can't be detected by this application compiler. For example, you have your divisor as 0. This is the error. This is also an error, but our system will not recognize this error because this is a logic error, not your application. Not your application has something wrong, but it is a logical error. So this application compiler will check the error. And if no error, you can download next. So I will download all the application, all the configuration into the demo system. So next, all the work here, all the work in the configuration tape we have finished. All the work in the configuration we have finished. So next, I will download. Every time you want to download, you do the application compiler first. Then you can download. Swap to the other tape, the online tape, and there are 3 objects. First one is controller management, and if you want to download, and if you want to manage your controller, manage your system, you need to using this. And this one and this one, the point viewer. The point viewer used to monitoring all the points, the data and the real-time data of all the points, and application viewer used to monitoring the application running in your system. So I will do the download first. So I will click this, and before you download, if there are some information, if there are some errors, told you can't connect with the controller, you need to check the connection between the computer, the safety station, and the system, and you can ping. And if the safety station can connect with the system, and there will be no information, and you want to load, you need to click this load controller and wait. So the next job is very simple. Do follow these tips. You can see this tip. Press start to load the CP, or turn the key of the CP to be loaded in the idle position. Okay, I will introduce the first situation. When you want to download, you must turn the key to the idle position, and you can see the key here. Okay, you all can come and see. you all can come and see here. This is about our CPU. This is about our CPU, and the first layer is the CPU chassis. So the left one is the CPU number 1. You can see CPU number 1, and the right one is CPU number 2. So this is CPU number 2. And if you want to download, it must have the idle. It must have the idle. And there are three different status. Stop means power off. Stop means power off. Idle means you can download, and the controller have not begin their work. And run means it is working. So when you want to download your application, you need to idle. Yes, idle. Yes, you can. So first the situation, I will tell you how to download when you off the process. When you off the process, you can idle. And later I will tell you how to download on process. So this is the first situation. Maybe it is off process. And after you idle all the controller, you can download. Okay, you can see here the tips. The tip became this: press start to load the CP. You just follow the tip. It let me press the start, right? So I press start button. I press start button. Okay, you can see the status of controller here. The CP is loading, and if you see the screen of the CP number 1, and you will see it is loading. And this is wait. Okay, the CP is starting out because the loading has finished, and it will restart. It's starting up. Okay, so you can see that that means the first CP has finished the loading. And you can see the tips become check diagnostics. Press continue to load the redundant controller. Usually our system will load CP1 first, then it will load CP2. And for now the CP1 has finished the loading, and I click the continue button. And this time the right one, the CP2 is loading. You can see the screen. The LED screen shows loading, right? The right one. Loading. And it is restart, right?
No, hot.
Okay, hot. And give you the CPU. Okay, all the controller finished the downloading, and you can see the tips. The last step: turn the key of CP in the ROM. So you can turn the key in the ROM position.
It's right. Right one.
All the CP can turn, yes. And you can see the screen. What is the state of the CP?
Ready.
Yes, it will show you CP ready. And the CP ready means our controller can work at any time if you want. But you must check, you must reset the information. That represents you tell the system you have already know that, and you have get ready to the wrong state. And at this time, you can use the reset switch. The reset is on the BPM, yes, BPM, and you just can turn it on. Okay, then the state will be running. And here you can find some faults because this one is broken. This card is broken. Okay, so that is the process of download. And this is situation 1. Because when we download, none of the controller is running, and they are all of process. Okay, after you download that, you can monitoring all the points data and real-time data and your application online with the safety station. First, you can click this application viewer, and here is the monitoring. Here is the monitoring tab of application, and you can see the line. The dotted line means logic 0, and the solid line means the logic 1. And if it is analog, you can see the data here. And sometimes, if you want to give some false, you can right-click the point you want. But if you want to use the false function, there are 2 conditions you need to meet. First, the key on the BPM. There are 2 key switches on the BPM. One is reset, the other is false enable. So if you want to use the false function, you need to put the position on the on position. That is the first condition. If you just off the false enable, and you will see here, you can't use the false. So if you want to use the false function, you need first open the switch. And second, when you do the point configuration, you must check this. If the switch is on, but you have not checked this, the point has no enforce function. So these are the 2 conditions you need to meet. And here, because I have met the 2 conditions, so I can give the false online. For example, I want to give this. The current state is logic 0, right? It is logic 0, and I want to force it into logic 1. So you can see they become the solid line, right? And this means you force it to logic 1. And you also can force it to logic 0. And every time you need to give the reason. You need to give the detail about your change. And after you give the false, you will find a letter here. The letter L means low. And H means no. H means high and L means low. But what is the low here? What is low here? The L means what? The L means the state outside. The state outside of the system. Can you understand?
Yeah.
This L means the state outside of the system. It is the actual state. And here you can see it is logic 1, right? Because this is we force it to logic 1. But the actual state is what? Is no. So
I change.
yes, if you change the actual state become high, become logic 1, and it will show you H. So this letter gives you the stator outside. And if it is a DO, and I also the logic the current state of DO is what? Is logic 1, right? And I want to change. I want to force it to low. And the L between these two lines is also the state outside. So you just remember this is the state outside of the system. And if this is different of this, that means you give the force. Can you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. Next one. You can see all the force by select this. View all forces, right? And you can see all the forces in our system. So that is about the force. And you can select this one, the point viewer, and there are no points here. And you need to create a list. You want to view. For example, I will create a new list, a new screen, and give the screen a name. For example, A unit. And put all the points you want to see here once. Add points. Maybe I will just select some points. For example, I need a DI. This one. So you can see the actual the value in the application, and I will also add another point. And if it is a force, you can see the F. The F means you give it a force. If it is a D, there must be something error. The D means error, and F means force. D, defect. D-F-E-C-T, defect. D means defect, and F means force. Not fault, force. And you can also add some other points. For example, I maybe add AI point here. So this is okay. So this is AI, and you also can see the stator here. AI, you can also give the force. For example, I want to force this point, and you can give the number. For example, 88. So you can also see the F, right? And that means the 88 is the fourth number. It is the fourth number. So this is all about the monitoring. And if you want to clear the force, you can do it here. For example, you can right click and force and select clear. Once you select clear, and this data or this state will get back into the actual state, and you will the letter between these two lines will disappear. And you can click this. If you click that, that means it will clear all the active forces. No, I will not click that. And at this time, if I have not clear all the forces, but I just turn off the key, the force enable. I just turn off the key of force enable, and all the force will be clear. So if you turn off the key, the force will also be clear.
Turn on again.
No,
Reset now.
no, for clear, forever. So next time, if you want to force, you need to do it again. So that is about the point and the application monitoring. Do you have any question?
I have one question.
Mm-hmm.
In the table force table, you
Force table,
yeah. How can we know the parameter of field? We can compare
Parameter of what?
from side
From sides.
to and because we need to compare
Okay.
the force and
I will turn on this. And for example, this is a point,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And this is the active value, and
Yeah.
I will force 288.
yeah.
And you can see it here. That's the value outside.
I
That's
know
the state outside.
I know that, but we need to. I asked on the table.
On the table,
Yeah, and we don't have, right?
yes, but you can double click. No.
Because when I clear force, I have to compare the value between force value and actual value.
If you clear the force and you want to,
Because before the clear force, I have to compare two values. One is actual value and the second is force value. Because I want to make sure that everything is normal. So I before forcing. So I need to see actual values on the table, and it doesn't have, right?
yes, you can't see the actual value here.
Click
if
the
you
screen
give the
lại
force.
tắt nó ra ngoài.
Yeah.
Click the screen lại bắt nó ra lại thì
Không, có application viewer thì là có trên thông tin mà thông tin nó nhiều quá.
Application view value, not the actual value, And if you want to see the actual value, you need to get into the application. Remove point properties. No. The low selection. Their selection. You just can see it here.
Because
This is the false value, and this is the value outside the actual value.
because I think sometimes we have to force many point and
Why?
and the applications.
Why you need to force a lot of points? That means force is not safe. No. False is not for safe. False is for the process, and the system is for safe. So why you want to use so many false?
Just I think 5 is a lot. 5.
Maybe when the device, when the transmitter broken, and you need to false, right, to keep your process. And if the transmitter is okay, why are you why do you want to force this value?
Because I did on the old plant.
Usually
Không ở trong not many. You do some.
Nắm
Some trigger with logic for
some triggers.
Okay.
action.
Because in application viewer is so complicated to see all faults. So I need to. I should ask you.
You want to see the actual value here.
Có kìa.
Oh no. The point viewer, right? I have no.
5 cái thì rồi
I have
cái
no
trạm
way.
bên làm phòng 5 cái đó.
But if you can see that you can see that here. Here you can see the actual value in the false list, not the point list. You can see the actual value and the false value. But in this list you can't. And maybe there are no way to configure this.
Can you fork
figure.
in one DI?
What?
Can you
this?
fork one DI? Yes.
Force
Fork,
this.
yeah.
Nó
Okay.
phải lâu.
Become low. Yes.
Nó vậy nó phải
And
lâu à.
become applicant viewer. Can you see this about it? Applicant viewer.
Applicant viewer.
Application viewer. Application viewer.
Yes. This one.
Hôm nay thi cháu có lần view của nó cái bảng á.
View ôm phòng.
The what?
Cái thầy nói em mua view ôm phòng.
View phone thôi.
View ôm.
View.
Qua applicant viewer và view ôm phòng.
View all foxes.
View all forces. Okay.
Hả? Có kia. Có cái lần nữa. Okay, it's okay. I think it's okay. Không, bởi vì do nó nằm bên cho cô nó nằm chung một cái bảng hết. Còn nhiều khi muốn kiểm soát là kiểm soát cái này này.
If you do not know the position of this point, you can double click and it will go to the sheet.
Okay.
The point at. Other question? So it is very simple, just this function. And the CS is not like TCS, because TCS you always have someone to operate all the time. But this system you just write the application, download and leave it. So this is about the point monitoring and application monitoring. And next I will give you some introduction of controller management. And we have finished this too. So this only one is left. And in this object we have used this, right? So this is the rest. I will introduce it one by one. So first, the first two. The name of the first two is the system information. You click here. It will give you some information about the system. So this is CP1, and this is CP2, and this is about the general system. And first, the architecture of this system, the architecture of the controller is what? Redundant. And this redundant is not the configuration you set. This redundant is monitoring by the system, and the system find you have the redundant controller. So this is a real-time data. Not the configuration. So this is the first. And this operating mode, you will have two operating modes. One is operation, and you always have this mode. And the other is simulation. And if you have license, if you have the simulation system, you will use the simulation mode. And this is the temperature of controller. Our controller can get its own temperature. Right time. And this temperature seems good. It is okay. And next, timers. You can see four different timers here. First, the cycle time. The cycle time means what? The cycle time means the duration. The system check all of its components. So it is 115 milliseconds, right? And the DTI, do you remember this?
3 seconds, yeah.
Diagnostic test interval. Yes, this one, the cycle time should not more than the DTI. And if the cycle time, the duration of the cycle time means the duration, our system check all of these components. And this should be shorter than this. If it is longer than this time, it will shut down. And you can see this is 3,000 milliseconds, right? And this is only 115 milliseconds. So it is shorter than this ETI. So our system is very healthy. And next, uptime. Uptime means when you power on the system, and the timer will run, and give you the last time. How long have it last? Power on from last power on movement. So this is uptime. And the operational time means how long have the safety station connect with the system. The operational time means how long have the safety station connect with the system. This means how long have the system power on, and this means how long have the safety station connected with the system. So these four are the timers. And this forces. The first one, force stator, means the switch. If you open the switch, if you turn the switch on, it will be active. And this is the number of forces in our system. This is the number of all the forces in our system. And if you turn off the switch, turn off the enable, force enable, turn off. Okay, if you turn off, it will give you not active. That means you have turned off the switch. And you can see the number of forces will get to zero. So this is all about the general information. And this are the CP2 is idle.
I turn switch with idle and then I turn to run.
Okay.
How can we run?
Because you need to reset. Every time you want the CP running, you need to reset. Manually.
Yes.
Because before you check, the system will not run automatically.
Ủa thì sẽ phải gọi thưởng đó.
So this is the CP1 stator, and
Okay.
this is CP2 stator.
Hai.
And the information following here, you need not to deal. That is just some like something like MAC address, something like that. So this is the first tool, system information, and you will focus on this part and this two CP status. So the second one is communication status. This one will show all the communication status between the SM and the other devices. So we can use it here and wait. Okay, you can see, we just have only one USI, right? And one USI give you how many ports? 4, right? And this 4, 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D is the CP1s, and this is the CP2s, because we have the redundant controller. So we have the redundant USI, and there are 8 different ports here. And you can see A, B, C, D, and only the A has been used. Connect with what? With the safety builder. And the interface type is what? Ethernet. And the other three you have not used. And if you want to see the communication status, you can check this tape. And if you see the word healthy, that means it is okay. You always to see the status here, not here. You can see the communication status here. And if it is healthy, that means okay. So this is the second tool. And this way, first is the actual diagnostic. Okay, in this list, it will show you all the faults in our system. Because our system, when our system is running, it will check round and round. It will check all the components, all the devices and the applications, round and round. And if it finds something wrong, if it finds something fault, it will give you the information. The information is just like the alarm in the DCS. This is just like the alarm in the DCS. When you get the alarm information in the DCS, what will you do next? Maybe you will fix the problem and acknowledge this alarm. In our system, this is just like the alarm. And when you fix this problem, you need to reset. The reset means acknowledge. The reset is just like acknowledge. And after you reset that, after you reset our system, the system will check again. Check all the components again. And if it finds maybe the problem is still there, and it will give you the diagnostic information. And after you check, after you acknowledge, after you reset, if the system check all around and find nothing, so this list will be clear. So this is the actual diagnostic. All the faults here, and after you fix and after you reset will disappear forever. But how can I get the historian diagnostic? You need to use this list. So this is actual diagnostic, right? And this is what? Actual and historical diagnostic. You can see the historian. You can see the historical diagnostic here. And these are all the problems have been appeared in our system. And the list can contain at most 320 diagnostics. This list can hold at most 320 diagnostics. So you can see the latest 320 diagnostic. And all of this information are kept in the flash of the CP. Flash. Do you know flash?
Yep.
Flash. This is not like the C300. This is not like the C300. All the application in C300 run in what? Run in the RAM, right? But so when you download the configuration in PKS, all the application, all the configuration stored in the RAM, and after you power off the C300, it will lost. You need to checkpoint and restore, right? But in our SM, the controller is different. All the applications stored in this flash. All the applications stored in the flash. That means if you power off the controller and repower the controller, all the application will still there, will not lost. And the information, the diagnostic, actual and historical diagnostic information, they are also kept in the flash. They are also kept in the flash. So if you power off and power on, you can also see the historical diagnostic information.
Can I return the key into idle and some information appear there?
Yes.
Can I
Yes.
try?
You can
idle
try.
stop luôn đấy. Stop luôn đi.
Yeah. I return to idle.
You can turn both
Yeah.
idle.
Stop luôn.
So từ idle rồi đến stop.
Hồi nãy idle một lần rồi. Đâu gì đâu.
So if the CP is online, you can get the information. But sometimes when you have a bad luck, maybe these two CP are broken, and you can't connect the SM. You can't connect this SM again. But you want to maybe check. You want to review what happened before these two controller broken. How can you do that? You can't use this two. You can't use this two. So you can use the third one, diagnostic from database. This is actual and historical diagnostic, right? And it will have at most 320. And you have another list here. This is diagnostic from database, and all this information will be the same as this list, but it will more than this list, because all the historical information will get into the database. But where is the database? The database is here. The same place with the not this. No. In the virtual machine. The same place with the CEC and the CC. So this file is a diagnostic database. And you can see the extension name is what? DGN, right? DGN means diagnostic. So this is the diagnostic information database. Once you click this or this, the system will create the DGN for you. Once you click this or this, the system will create the DGN for you. And the DGN will keep all the historical and actual diagnostic information forever until you delete. So this one is the third very important file. We have three very important files about the system. First is CEC. CEC means what? The plant database, right? And the second is CC. CC means what? The controller database. And the third is this, DGN. DGN means diagnostic database. So these three are very important. And if you want to back up, you just back up this three, and it's okay. It's okay. And if you not copy, if you want to do the backup here. For example, I want to back up my system. Let me see, how can I, yes,
Just go
back up. And maybe I will have another folder to save the files. SM, backup. And save. Oh, you give the name, SM01. Save. And you just find this way. So you can do this yourself, or you can do this through the backup. They are the same. Not like the ERDB or EMDB, right? ERDB